Welcome, little star. You're looking very nice and bright this evening.
Oh, thank you, old star. I've been working on my shining.
Good job. And of course, this is a really great night for us to look our best.
Why is that?
Because it's Christmas.
Oh, Christmas. Sure. What's Christmas?
You don't know what Christmas is? Oh, that's all right. You just know. You are a brand new star. This is your very first Christmas.
Yes. Is it your first Christmas too?
Ha, who, me? Oh no, I've seen over 2,000 of them.
Wow, 2,000. Is that a lot?
Well, no, it's not a lot of star years. There are lots of stars older than me, but I'm old enough to tell you about the first Christmas and to explain why we still celebrate it even after all these years.
Oh, please do. I want to hear about it.
Okay, but before I do, we have to go back a little, before the first Christmas.
How far back?
Not far, about a year, and we have to travel to a place called Nazareth.
Is Nazareth a place in the sky? You know, up in space?
No, it's a place down on Earth, on that little bitty planet down there.
You mean the one over there by Jupiter?
No, the one a little farther to your right.
Do you mean Pluto? I didn't think it was still even a planet.
No, not Pluto, to the right, your other right.
Do you mean that little blue and green one, the one between Mars and Venus?
Exactly.
What's that little white cue ball looking thing going round and round it?
That's their moon.
Really? Is it a full moon? I heard that there's always a full moon being Uranus.
Stop it. Have you been talking to that traveling comet again? You know, the one that keeps passing by? Don't listen to him, kid.
I know, the last time he came around, he tried to sell me a map to the houses of the stars. I thought he was talking about the stars in the Milky Way. Who is Samuel Jackson? Sorry, will you still tell me about the first Christmas?
Absolutely. You come to the right place to hear about the first Christmas. Like I said, we have to go back to a place called Nazareth.
Ooh, who's the pretty lady?
That's Mary. She is lovely, isn't she? Mary is a virgin, and she is blessed to be married to a man named Joseph.
Is that Joseph? He looks like a nice guy.
He is. Joseph is a carpenter. He is also a righteous man.
What's he doing?
Building something. Carpenters are always building something.
I hope it's a cradle.
I think you're getting ahead of our story.
Who's that other guy? He's all shiny, like us.
That's Gabriel. He's an angel. He has come to talk to Mary. Listen.
Greetings, you are highly favored. The Lord is with you. Do not be afraid, Mary. You have found favor with God. The Lord God will give him the throne of Father David and will reign over the house of Jacob forever.
How many species of virtue?
What does that all mean?
It means that Mary is going to have a baby, who is the Son of God.
But what did Mary mean?
She's a little confused about how this is going to happen, since she's a virgin.
And how is it going to happen?
Keep watching. Gabriel will explain.
The Holy Spirit will come upon you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you. So the Holy One to be born and called the Son of God.
But that's not how the traveling comes and these things usually happen.
Shh. No, this is very special. Listen.
Even Elizabeth, your relative, is going to have a child in her old age, for nothing is impossible with God.
I am the Lord's servant, so let me have you to it.
What did Mary say?
She said yes.
Oh, good. Now what? I like Mary. She seems really nice.
Oh, she is. They tell me that after the angel left her, Mary hurried to visit her cousin Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Mary!
When Mary arrived, she found that things were just like the angel Gabriel had told her. Elizabeth was expecting a child, a very special child, who had also been promised by God. And this baby's name was going to be John.
Mary was probably really happy for Elizabeth. After all, she was going to have a baby even in her old age. It was a miracle.
Yes, and Mary wasn't the only one who was happy. Elizabeth was happy too. Listen to what she said to Mary.
Blessed are you among young women, and the child you will bear. But why is it that I am so that the mother will come to me when the greeting of your ears, when your greeting reached my ears, my baby will be in my womb for joy. Blessed is she who has believed what the Lord has really accomplished.
My soul rests by the Lord, and my spirit rests my spirit. In God, my Savior, for he has been mindful of the humble state of his servant. For now, from all generations will call me blessed, but to mine one has done great things with holy.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Yes, it was. Mary stayed with Elizabeth for a few weeks and then returned home to Nazareth. But by now, it was more obvious that she was going to have a baby.
What did Joseph have to say?
What could he say? He knew that Mary's baby wasn't his, but Joseph was a righteous man, and so he decided to put her away privately instead of turning her out to the street, which is often what happens in cases like this.
They're all staring at Mary and pointing at her. What did they say?
We probably don't want to know.
But Mary didn't do anything wrong.
I know that, and you know that, but nobody else in her hometown knew that.
Poor Mary. Why doesn't somebody do something?
Watch, somebody will. God is going to do something. Not long after Joseph had decided to put Mary away where she would be safe, God sent an angel to speak to him in a dream.
Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary home as your wife, because what has been conceived in her is by the Holy Spirit. She will give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus. He will save everyone from their sins.
The prophet Isaiah had foretold this many years before, saying, "The Lord himself will give you a sign. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son and will call him Emmanuel." And if you translate the word Emmanuel, it means God with us.
Wow, that's a great name. What did Joseph do when he woke up?
He did just what the angel of the Lord had commanded him to do. He took Mary home as his wife, but he did not consummate their marriage until she had given birth to him.
That word consummate, does that mean?
Yep, just like the traveling comet told you.
Oh, so what happened next?
Next, there was a little drama that went on in Rome. The Roman ruler Caesar Augustus ordered that everyone in the countries under his rule had to be counted.
Well,
Here you go again.
Something about tests, whatever those are, but in order to be counted, everyone has to go back where their family was from originally.
so like a family reunion?
A little bit, but without all the games and the potato salad.
That's too bad. I love potato salad. Did they have cookies? I love cookies too.
I don't think so.
Then it really wasn't much like a family reunion at all.
No, it wasn't. In fact, for Mary and Joseph, it was a pretty long and difficult trip, especially now that Mary was expecting a baby.
Where did they have to go?
Well, first you have to know that Joseph belonged to the house and the line of King David.
Ooh, king. Wow, that's really cool. I bet the king was born in a big, beautiful palace. Is that where Joseph and Mary went?
No, actually King David wasn't born in a palace. Before God chose David to be king, he was a young shepherd boy from a little town called Bethlehem.
So Joseph had to go back to Bethlehem to tell him his ancestor, King David.
Right.
Do you mean that little know-nothing town over there in the middle of nowhere, the one that's all covered in sheep?
Yep, that's the one.
Wait a minute. Bethlehem. Isn't that the one they sing about, the one called Oh Little Town of Bethlehem?
Yes, it's the same one they sing about.
I really like that song. They even sing about how the silent stars go by.
Listen, I think someone's going to sing it now.
Oh, little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie. Above thy deep and dreamless sleep, the silent stars go by.
Wow, they can really sing. But listen, I thought this was a story about the first Christmas. When did we get to the part with the tree and the star?
There was no tree that first Christmas, but there was a star.
Where?
We're getting there. First we have to hear more about Joseph and Mary.
Okay, let's get on with it.
So Joseph went to Bethlehem to be counted, and Mary went with him. But it was a long and difficult trip for them, about 75 miles.
75 miles isn't very far out here in space. My nearest star neighbor is about 75 billion miles away.
You're right. For us, it's not a great distance, but for humans, it's different. And for a woman who's expecting a baby, it's a really long way.
Look, there they are. Mary and Joseph have arrived in Bethlehem, and Mary looks very tired. I hope they have somewhere nice to stay. Mary looks like she's going to have that baby any minute.
You're right, but unfortunately, there was no room for them at the inn.
What? Wait a minute. What kind of inn was this? Holiday Inn, Ramadan Inn, Travelers Inn, Dewdrop Inn? I'm going to give them a really bad rating online on Yelp even.
No, not that kind of inn. What I mean is that the whole town was full because of all the people who had to come there to be counted. So Mary and Joseph stayed in a stable.
A stable? Do you mean like the cows, the horses, and goats, and sheep?
Yep, Mary and Joseph stayed in a humble stable. There, Mary had her baby, and she wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in the manger.
What's a manger?
It's a nice sturdy box where they will put feed or hay for the cattle.
Why would they put the baby there?
It was probably the safest and best place for him. I'm sure that Joseph lined it with fresh new hay and stood watch over Mary and the baby during the night.
What did they name the baby?
They named him Jesus, which means the Lord saves. And now for the first time up in the sky, there was a new star announcing the birth of the Messiah.
Look, I think they're going to sing again.
They do that a lot on Christmas time. You get used to it. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Boom!
Wow, that was a really great song. Just think, a new star in the sky. How wonderful, how glorious. No one on earth could have done that.
It's amazing that not only did people miss the Messiah then, but they still miss him now. Maybe it's because they just aren't looking for the Messiah. But God didn't rely on a single new star to announce the birth of his son. He also sent an angel to tell a group of shepherds all about it. Haha, of course. It really frightened the shepherds to suddenly see an angel.
I bring you good news of great joy that will be for all people. Today in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is Christ the Lord. This will be a sign to you. You will find a baby lying in a manger.
Suddenly a great company of the heavenly host appeared with the angel, praising God and saying, When the angels had left them and gone into heaven, the shepherds said to one another,
Let's go to Bethlehem and see these things that's happened, which Lord has told us about.
So they hurried off and found Mary and Joseph and the baby, who was lying in the manger.
Good news, good news, good
When they
news.
had seen him,
Good
they
news,
spread
good
word
news,
about
good news.
what had been told them about the child, and who all heard it were amazed at the shepherds said to them. But Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. The shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things they had heard and seen, which were just as they'd been told.
So that's the story of the first Christmas and the star.
Yes, but there is more to the story. Look over there in the east.
Who are those guys?
There are 3 wise men, but let's let them speak for themselves.
We 3 kings of Orient are.
Bearing gifts we travel so far, build a fountain, water and mountain, following on the star.
Wait a minute. They're talking in poetry.
What's the problem?
What's the problem? What are they saying? What's an Orient? What's a Travis and what is a Moor?
It's from an old song, a Christmas song about the 3 wise men. We 3 kings of Orient are means we are 3 kings from the east. Bearing gifts we travel so far means they travel really far. Build and fountain, moor and mountain, they're describing places they've been. And a moor is a wide, flat, soggy place.
Oh, I get it. And following yonder star means that they saw the star, the new star. And they followed it because they were wise enough to know that it meant the Savior had been born.
That's right. Listen, I think they're going to sing about it.
We 3 kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we traverse afar, field and fountain, moor and mountain, follow the yonder star.
Oh, Westwardly still proceeding, guide us to our perfect life.
Oh, I like the kings. And look, they brought presents. Who are the presents for?
They're for the baby Jesus.
What kind of presents are they?
They are gifts fit for a king. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
What? No iPhone, no flash screen, no Nintendo? I'm coming back, you know.
Gold because Jesus is king. Frankincense because he is the high priest. And myrrh because of his sacrifice which was poured out for many.
Hey, where are they going? Bethlehem's over there. Hey, fellas, you're going the wrong way. Bethlehem's over there.
They are going to Jerusalem, the big city, to the palace to look for the king of the Jews.
But why? The baby's over there in Bethlehem. He was born in the stable.
They made the same mistake you did. They went looking for the baby king in the palace, but they didn't find him there.
Who did they find?
Well, watch and see.
Hello, I'm King Herod, the king of this place. I was called King Herod. How may I help you?
Where's the one that has been found king of the Jews?
King of the Jews? I don't understand. I'm the only king that's here.
We saw that star in the east,
Star? What star? Are there stars out tonight?
and we have come to worship you.
Worship him? That sounds foolish. I'm the only king you're looking for of the Jews.
When King Herod heard all this, he was greatly distressed, and all of Jerusalem with him. Herod called in the Jewish chief priests and the teachers of the law and asked them where the Messiah was to be born.
In Bethlehem in Judah, for what the prophet has written.
But you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For out of you will come a ruler who will be the shepherd, my people Israel.
The evil King Herod questioned the three wise men very carefully about when the star had appeared for the first time. And then he said to them,
Go to Bethlehem and search for that child carefully, and when you find him, come and tell me so I can worship him too.
So the wise men went on their way, and the star they had seen in the east went ahead of them until it started over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were overjoyed. On coming to the house, they saw the child with his mother Mary, and they bowed down and worshipped him. Then they gave him their gifts and went back to their own countries. But having been warned in a dream not to go back to Herod, they went home a different way.
Where's that child?
What child?
Where is that child?
What child?
Go find the child
Let's go
now.
find the child. Let's find the child. That make no sense. Lord, let's go find this baby.
Hey, isn't that the angel again?
Yes, an angel was warned Joseph in a dream to take his family away to Egypt because King Herod wanted to kill the child. They finna kill y'all, baby. Time to go. They're gonna kill the baby.
What happened next?
You don't want to know.
Please tell me.
Herod realized that he'd been tricked by the wise man, and he gave orders to kill all the boys in Bethlehem who were 2 years old and under, according to the time he had learned from the wise man about the star had appeared.
Oh, the baby.
Yes, it was horrible to watch.
Did Mary and Joseph and the baby Jesus escape?
Yes, they traveled to Egypt and stayed there until all the people who wanted the baby Jesus to die were gone themselves.
How did they know it was time to come back?
An angel was sent to tell Joseph.
In another dream?
Yes,
Boy, that angel sure gets around. And that's the whole story?
there's a little more. The child Jesus' family traveled back to Nazareth, where he was raised, and he lived there until he started his earthly ministry at about age 30. Mary's cousin Elizabeth, you remember her? Her son John baptized him. Jesus was the Son of God, and he did all the things that were prophesied about him. He lived a perfect life and died on the cross for all sin, and rose again to live forever. Now he sits at the right hand of God, the Father, and one day he will come to judge the world.
That's amazing. And how do you know all these things?
I saw it all from up in the sky, where we watch the comings and goings on the little planet they call Earth. At least I saw it from the time that Jesus was born. For you see, I'm the new star that appeared that night.
Really? You are the new star? But you are so old.
So it's a story, over 2,000 years old. But it is still as true today as it was on the very first Christmas. And that's why we still celebrate Christmas today.
Do you think it's possible that I will ever see anything as amazing as that?
You may see something even more amazing. One day, Jesus will come again.
Will he be like a little baby again?
No, not like a baby. Next time he will come to rule and reign as king.
Well, that would be something to see. I think I will shine a little more brightly now that I know all of this. And I will promise that I will stay up here in the sky declaring the glory of God until he comes.
You know what King David wrote? The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hand. Day after day they pour forth speech. Night after night they display knowledge. There is no speech or language where their voice is not heard. Their voice goes out into the earth. Their word ends of the world.
Yeah, attaboy, David. Well said. Hey, is that the same King David?
Yes, King David, the ancestor of Joseph, the one who was born in Bethlehem all those years ago.
Wow, I like that guy. He has a real way with words.
Okay,
Okay, so, what now?
looks like it's time for another song.
And cookies? I love cookies.
Yes, we'll get you some cookies.
And can we invite the traveling comet?
Well, maybe not this time, maybe next year, when he comes around again.